Hello everyone, this is Roberto. This video is going to be about me sort of walking you through this game idea that I have. Um, my previous, zombie game, unfortunately didn't do well, but I looked at it as a learning experience, and this is something that I've also wanted to make in learning certain mechanics, certain things I've always wanted to learn. One of the things I've always wanted to learn was things like crawling into tight spaces, going through like holes similar to like Silent Hill when you're going through like a broken wall, or Dead Space where you're going through like a hole in the bottom. Uh, those seems like pretty simple things, but it was always something that I've wanted to learn and wanted to implement in a sort of small game just so I can learn that. So that's what this game is really more for. It's just to make a small game where I can create those type of things. I also wanted to learn how to load and unload levels. Uh, my previous game that I was working on, there was a lot of issues with just performance wise because I was just adding, and not really thinking about how's that going to how's all that going to fit into the RAM and GPU and all that stuff. So I wanted to do a little bit more of a better job with thinking about optimizing and unloading and reloading levels. So, like for example, this uh, game is based inside of a school, which has 4 floors. So I have it set up where, like, if you go to like the third floor, the first floor and second floor gets unloaded, so you don't have to worry about all that models and textures and all that stuff being loaded into the game. So once again, probably to the average person, it's nothing, but to me, it's something I need to do better at. So, what else? Yeah, so I guess I'll just show you what I've been working on. This is very early. Yeah, there's you're gonna see rooms with nothing in them. You're gonna see no textures on a lot of stuff. So, the lighting is gonna be terrible if not there's any at all. So this is just very early stuff. But I wanted to, at least for myself, explain what the game is from beginning to end. This is a short game. This is going to be like 45 minutes long or something. So I'm cool with, just spoiling everything. So let's not waste any more time. I'll explain what I've been, what I want to do for this game. Uh, all right. Yeah, so this is mostly a story based, third person, mostly story based game. The story of it is that you're a young girl here who believes that wrestling is fake and never really respected you know wrestling and its storylines and all that type of thing. So she gets a phone call from a friend, telling her like, why aren't you not into wrestling? And she says, "Oh, it's fake, it's BS, it's dumb. Like, who watches wrestling?" So a friend of hers tells her of a story of the school that used to have wrestling events. And something happened where the wrestler died, but his ghost still haunts the school. And so she makes a bet, or he makes a bet with her, saying, "I bet you won't go to that school and say to the wrestlers, the poster of a wrestler, that wrestling's fake, and you have to say it 3 times." It's like Bloody Mary. "And if you do that, I'll give you $300." So she gets in her car and he drives to the school because she wants that $300. It was like easy money. Okay. So this is our little character here. As you can see, we haven't really done much work onto the outside of the school. As you can see, there's tanks. There's sort of military equipment out here. Originally, you're not going to know why they're there until later on. So you'll go and crawl under the little door there. And this game is basically just you going, maneuvering around the school. I mean, there's 4 floors. So, like I said, there's not a lot of lighting here, but the point is to try to make it atmospheric. Uh, Something like this, which seems like nothing, took like 2 months for me to do. Like, this is one of the things I've wanted to learn, was just to do little things like that. Once again, it probably means nothing to most people, but I feel that it adds to the atmosphere. So, not gonna waste much time. I don't know what this room is for. Like I said, you're gonna see a lot of empty rooms, but I'm gonna start adding things to sort of bring it atmospheric. There's a bathroom there. Then you go to the second floor. And in the second floor, there's you can obviously see the the first floor from here. I gotta figure out something to so you don't actually so it seems like more dangerous or, maneuvering. So you're gonna go here and then you're gonna do this. Once again, for 300 bucks. This like I'm gonna get that easy money, baby. Uh, I will say that the game is ridiculous. Just to let you guys know. Then we go into this room. Once again, empty. Is more or less just try to get you to do some maneuvering here. So crawling, this took me like a month to figure out. It's not perfect. I still have to work on it, but that from there, this room, I'm not sure what to do with this room. I'll create something. I'll make up something. From there, you go to the third floor. And in the third floor, you have your little gym. Don't worry about this guy. That's just for sizing things up. Then you go into the kitchen and then the cafeteria. Once again, didn't really add anything yet. So as I add things, you're gonna start maneuvering around. Then you go to the fourth floor. And in the fourth floor, this is where they held the wrestling event. I'll explain a little later the event and why they had it, but you're gonna then see the ring here and you're gonna head towards it. This is gonna lead to a cutscene. So in this cutscene, the lady's gonna go to the she's gonna be in the middle of the ring looking out at this picture of this wrestler and saying that wrestling's fake 3 times. From there, she falls down like a hole or something. I don't even explain what that is. I think she's gonna be on her phone with her friend, telling her like, "Hey, get that $300 ready. Get me get those $300 ready." And then she falls. She falls into another world, I guess you can say. So this is going to be the janitor's room. Reason why the janitor's room is because the wrestler is the janitor of the school. So here you're gonna have a sort of a flashback of some guy just cleaning, and that's actually the wrestler turned into the janitor turned into a wrestler. You go through the hallway, and then you're gonna go into this room here. So this room is gonna be this whole other world section is gonna be like a flashback. So you're gonna see a flashback of a kid, and the board is gonna have like a F on it. F is in the kids in the school has been failing, not doing too well, and this is just sort of a visual of that this school economically, or not economically, but educational, was not doing very well. A lot of kids failing, not doing well. And then you slide through this you slide through this sliding floor, which leads into this hallway. So in the story, the school is not doing well. The teachers are trying to figure out what could we do to make the kids pay attention, do better, that kind of thing. So they came up with an idea. So they thought, okay, guys, if you do well in this big test thing, then we will put on a show for you. We will put on a wrestling show right here in the school. And that's what this hallway is going to be. Is just going to be, a school hallway where you see a bunch of just posters of the school trying to promote the idea of, if you get good grades, we will, give you this cool wrestling match or show. So in this room, even though it's all empty, this is going to be a big classroom where kids are taking the test. So at this point, the kids are all taking the test. They're studying. They're trying to do well. When that flashback goes away, this whatever this bookshelf, whatever it is, this starts to slide to the right, and then you go into here. You go down these stairs here. You go down the stairs. You go down the stairs. Don't worry about the lighting. It's not even. I haven't even worked on it. This leads into this room here. So this is a sort of a small auditorium for all the kids. You're gonna hear a ticking, like a ticking time bomb, and you're like, "What is that? What is that ticking?" And as you get closer to that table over there, it gets quicker and quicker and quicker. Once you get to it, it goes off not as a bomb, but as sort of a a sort of a celebration. All of a sudden, behind you, you're gonna see a bunch of kids cheering as a flashback. You see a bunch of kids cheering because they just heard that they passed the test. Like, the school did well. They took the test, they did well. Now they're getting their match. They're getting their professional wrestling match. So after that happens, there's going to be a door that opens here. You already see it, but in the final version, you're not going to see it. It's just going to slide, and then you get to walk down here. Wash your head, and then you go down these stairs. If I know where to go in my own game, which is going to lead you into this room here. Once again, we get into a flashback. Now you're seeing lights everywhere, kids are cheering, you're seeing a wrestling match going on, and everything is going well. Everything, like, the kids got their match, the school got their good grades, everything is going well. Then we go into this section here. This leads into this sort of a big open area. Not really going to explain what the open area really is, but you start to see military vehicles driving, and the point is, why is there military vehicles driving? The story is that they're going to the school because there is a military coup going on in the country, and so there's a military that wants to take the school just as a base. They don't really actually want to hurt anyone. They just want to use it as a base. So when you go into this room, you're going to see a scene on the other side of this mirror. That's going to be a mirror there. And on the other side, you're going to see military people holding boxes, showing you that they're bringing in all their stuff into the school. Don't worry about the bell right now. And then in this, I'll show you that. So in the second room, you see a continuation of that scene where you have the military people and you have staff members of the school having an argument. Like, why are you, why are you bringing your stuff here? This is a school for children. This is not your military base, whatever. And there's like a big argument. Towards the end, you're gonna have a tank going over the roof of this particular room here. It's sort of a visual thing, and it's supposed to open a pathway for you. Then you have this third, which is a fight between the wrestler and the military. So your professional wrestler janitor is fighting off the military from using the school as a base. As that fight happens, you crawl under here, and unfortunately, it does not end well for our wrestler. And then you start to hear the bell. You start to hear the bell. And you're like, what is that? And then you start to see this wrestling, uh, uh, the ring in the distance. And then you run towards it. And it's supposed to get louder. This is actually supposed to be at night. You're not supposed to see the sun. So don't worry about the clouds, and you're not going to really see stuff like that. So you head towards it. Which then leads into a cutscene of her touching the bell, and then she wakes up. There's going to be a cutscene for that. She wakes up. She's like, oh, what is that? What a crazy dream. What happened? So as she walks away, some music plays. And it is our professional wrestler here and his theme song. So on the other side over there, he starts to go through the entrance and he comes after you. So now you're running. And you're running. Yeah, there was a pool next to the wrestling event. So this is meant to be sort of an intense moment where you're running, you're going through, you're going down these stairs. I'm gonna see if I can have like, I don't know, it's like some sort of stuff falling, the wrestler's gonna block certain ways from you, or block certain paths. So we're gonna keep running. We're running away from the wrestler. Up here, we're gonna get up here, and there's gonna be a scene where she falls down and she hurts herself. So now she's injured. So the wrestler's coming after her. She's like, "Get this box out of my way." Wrestler's trying to kill me. I'm trying to get out of here. So she's running. At this point, maybe I'm gonna have the wrestler break through a wall or something just to sort of heighten the intensity of it. So she's going through these walls here. She's running. She's trying to get out of the building. Trying to get out of the building. Once again, this is very early on. I'm going to add more stuff to it, but this is sort of the basics of the whole story. She goes to the entrance. In the entrance, you're not going to see it here, but she walks outside. She falls down. Police officer comes to her, says, "Is she okay?" She blacks out. She wakes up in a hospital thinking that everything is fine. Everything is cool. You hear those heart. I forgot the name of the heart thing where you hear the heartbeat of the person in the hospital. I forgot the name of it, but you hear that, and you keep hearing that. Then all of a sudden, that heartbeat monitor or whatever turns into the wrestling bell. It turns into the wrestling bell, and the woman who's like in the hospital bed freaks out, looks in front of her, and realizes that the three doctors in front of her were all wrestling fans, and they all have their masks, their mask on. I'm sorry, I don't know why it's funny to me. And then one of them has a steel chair, and she works the girl with the steel chair, and then that's the end credits, and that's the game. So, oh my god, and that's the game. So, obviously a lot of things going to change. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, it'll be these three doctors here. But that's the game. It'll probably take like 40 minutes to beat it or something, but um thank you very much for watching. I don't know why anyone would care to hear the story, but it was funny to me, so that's what I'm working on, and hopefully the next video I make would be much farther along for the game. So thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.